Nicola Sturgeon has been brutally mocked after claiming Boris Johnson sold out Scottish fishing all over again, despite the SNP wanting to rejoin the EU. Scotland's First Minister took to Twitter this afternoon to criticise Boris Johnson's hard-fought Brexit deal with the EU. She wrote, "The fact that many predicted it, doesn't make it any less galling. The Tories have sold out Scottish fishing all over again. Promises they knew couldn't be delivered, duly broken." But her comments have been torn apart by Brexiteers, who pointed out Ms. Sturgeon wants to rejoin the EU and its common fisheries policy. Political commentator Tom Harwood wrote, "The SNP position is to rejoin the EU and therefore cede all control of Scottish fish to Brussels. The UK has negotiated a deal that returns all fish to this country after a transition." Political reporter Christian Calgi also responded to Ms. Sturgeon's tweet and said, calling for a no-deal outcome and now calling a 5.5-year transition a sellout. Sturgeon's brainless politicking had turned her into a bigger Brexiteer than Nigel Farage. Dozens of other social media users also responded to the First Minister's criticism with fury. One person said, "Given you want to sell out our fishermen lock, stock and barrel, it might be wiser for you not to say too much on this topic. Scottish fishermen will never again trust the SNP because they see just how easily you were, and would be again, willing to sell them out." A second user wrote, "LMAO. You want to rejoin the common fisheries policy. Absolute hypocritical tosh." A third said, "According to the person who wants to rejoin the EU and the common fisheries policy." Another person asked Ms. Sturgeon, "Next question Nicola. How do you protect Scottish fishing upon joining the EU and the common fisheries policy?" On Christmas Eve the Prime Minister announced he had finally secured a post-Brexit trade deal with Brussels. He said, "And so I am very pleased that this afternoon that we have completed the biggest trade deal yet, worth £660 billion. A comprehensive Canada-style free trade deal between the UK and the EU, a deal that will protect jobs across this country. A deal that will allow UK goods and components to be sold without tariffs and without quotas in the EU market. A deal which will, if anything, should allow our companies and our exporters to do even more business with our European friends."